weapons pop up and everyone starts fighting each other. Then, suddenly a giant predator lizard tortoise looking thing, and apparently it eats stuff. Finally, our warriors have some common ground, not wanting to be eaten. Too bad for Leo, he gets eaten alive. But don't worry, he's still alive and he has a plan. Welcome to Recap, where we summarize our favorite movies and tell you how they're made. My name is Deovolt and today, we're looking at Predator, Killer of Killers, the 2025 gore-packed horror flick that asks, what if predators somehow got even more terrifying? Before we dive into this creepy adventure, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, or a predator might sneak into your room and tickle your feet tonight. So, grab your favorite weapon and stay close, because today, we're going head to head with one of the most deadly creatures in the universe. Why does this movie exist? Predator Killer of Killers isn't just another entry in this old sci-fi franchise, it's a blood-soaked animated film that fans didn't even know they needed. Since 1987, the Predator series has seen jungle hunts, urban warfare, alien crossovers, and more than a few questionable sequels. But this one hits differently. Killer of Killers doesn't just bring the Predator back, it evolves them into something darker, meaner, and way more brutal. After years of silence, soft reboots, and fan frustration, Killer of Killers is the answer to the question, what if the Predator franchise had an animated movie? With the same director from the previous installment, a dark undertone, and a body count that makes the original look like a daycare center, this 2025 film is here to reclaim the horror throne. And it's not just a once-off feature. This film sets up the 2025 live-action film, Predator Badlands. What is Predator Killer of Killers? Before we dive into the carnage, let's break down what this movie is really about, and why it's got longtime Predator fans foaming at the mouth. The Predator franchise has always followed a simple rule. The hunt is everything. Since the original 1987 classic, we've seen these alien hunters track down elite soldiers, city cops, xenomorphs, and a lot more, all for the thrill of the kill. Even though Killer of Killers doesn't really flip the script in a big way, it makes up for it in storytelling, character development, and just pure epic violence. In this movie, the Predator targets the world's deadliest assassins, mercenaries, and samurais. It's a hunt of the hunters, a showdown between apex predators where only one walks away. And with brutal new tech, deeper lore, and a setting that drips with gore, this movie redefines what it means to face off against the galaxy's most feared killer. Over the years, Predator has had its highs and some serious lows. 2018. But Killer of Killers feels like the franchise finally remembered what made it terrifying in the first place. Silence, tension, blood, and the thrill of the hunt. So yeah, this movie had a lot riding on it. And it came ready to destroy all expectations. The movie starts with weird alien hieroglyphs. They translate to, go forth among the stars and seek only the strongest prey. They shall be your trophy. Become the Killer of Killers. Inspirational and also the name of the movie. Within the first 45 seconds, these people are not messing around. Next, we cut to a wide shot of space with a spaceship flying straight at Earth. Is this the Predator mothership? Let's find out. So, we're set in ancient times, 840 AD to be precise. A Viking ship emerges from the smoky fog and we get our first glimpse of the animation. It kinda seems like PS2 graphics, but maybe I'm just being harsh. The Vikings shout Viking things and we get our first glimpse of Prince Zuko. I mean, this lady Viking. Little Joffrey over here is super motivated to fight people, and I, for one, is super excited to see what happens. The boat docks and the sky is lit up by flaming arrows. We cut to a chapter title, The Shield. We are now post-battle. The Vikings have won and defeated everyone. They're so strong. They're so tough. For now at least. Lady Zuko blabbers on at an old man strung up against a tree. He won't tell her what she wants to know, and that makes her angry. Very much Karen vibes. The animation style is feeling a lot more appealing already. Little Joffrey's mom tells him that he has to kill the old man, and he does it. But with the utter look of trauma in his eyes, I have a feeling this was his first kill. Suddenly, we see an invisible ship pass by. Are things about to get turned up? No. We cut to the Vikings having a nice, post-kill forest barbecue. Lady Zuko tells us a story of how her father died.
We die by ass.
Wait, did this man just say he dies by ass? Me too, I guess. In the depressing flashback, we see the dad forcing his daughter to kill him while he shouts "Avenge me" at her. This looks like a job for BetterHelp. No wonder she's got resting sour face. Anyway, as she finishes her story, we pan upwards to get our first look at a predator stalking them. He's got heat vision and they have dramatic backstories. I wonder who's going to win. Suddenly, we're thrown into another battle scene. So many kills are happening that I can't even keep track. This lady is hungry for blood and she is having a feast. She's literally the Viking version of John Wick. You know, if his dog was kind of his dad. And anyway, moving on. Lady Zuko makes it into the castle/fort and faces off against the king. He kinda looks like a rat. By this point, I'm kinda really enjoying the animation style of the movie. But it kinda reminds me of old school video game animation, as well as the 2004 Action Man Robot Attack movie, which I totally want to cover for the next video. Anyway, moving on. The Rat King talks and talks and talks, and Lady Zuko just decides to cut his head off. She has had enough, and honestly, so have I. We're 12 minutes in and the pure brutality of her strength is kinda being shoved down our throats. I mean, I know they want us to be aware of how powerful she is, so that when the predators show up and they make easy work of her, they can kinda seem invincible. But this is kinda getting ridiculous. Anyway, next thing, little Joffrey gets flung across the room by an invisible force field. A giant predator reveals himself, and rightfully so, everyone shits their Viking shorts. The predator makes quick work of all the Vikings, smashing, stabbing, and throwing them across the room like a spoiled kid at Hallmark. Anyway, little Joffrey lands a spear right in the predator's chest, causing Nickelodeon slime to pour out of him. The predator is now officially pissed off, and he's got alien tech, so the Vikings are kinda screwed. Mr. Predator blasts our Viking lady with his force field, sending her over the side of the cliff and into the frozen waters below. The Predator stands over her, but can't see her body heat since she's under the ice. At least now we know what the Predator's weakness is. Joe Rogan having an ice bath. In an epic battle, Lady Zuko faces off against the Predator, until she gets the upper hand, hitting him with an anchor. This just pisses him off more. As he walks over to her, she notices that the ice is cracking underneath him. She decides to break it completely, causing both of them to crash into the water. While underwater, the Predator is completely disorientated. He clearly didn't go for swim lessons as a kid. Anyway, she uses his force field against him, blasting herself out of the icy cold water while sending him headfirst into the pointy anchor. Bye bye, Mr. Predator. Oh no, Joffrey is dead. Nope, he's alive. Well, kinda. They mention his name, but I prefer King Joffrey. He says some gibberish and then dies. Or finishes early. I mean, that face could mean both. We cut to a motivational Japanese quote, and then a samurai in training. Could this be Lady Zuko's partner in crime for this movie? Let's find out. We are shown a training montage that includes all the most important fighting skills, like hitting leaves with sticks, hitting sticks with sticks, and then making paper boats. Yeah, humanity is doomed and this Tekken sensei knows it. Moving on, we see the sensei setting up a child fight club, and oh boy, it looks like this is a fight to the death, and the winner gets a really cool helmet. Anyway, the boys refuse to fight, and they deeply disappoint their sensei. If only this was a leaf hitting contest. Suddenly, one boy attacks the other. His head must be so cold because he really wants that helmet. So, then Cold Head defeats the other boy in combat, and I think we have a villain in the making. The other boy is left with a gnarly scar. This is the perfect foundation for an anti-hero. Next chapter, the sword. We jump forward in time, and the sensei is dead, and the evil boy is now a big boy. As for our anti-hero, he's a water boy. Shout out Adam Sandler. Our water boy senses something is up and decides to dig up his weapons. Suddenly, we see a predator stalking from above. Our anti-hero hides under a floating log and poison darts a guard right in the neck, sneakily making his way into the temple. Our evil samurai faces off against the water boy as the predator watches. It feels a bit cucky, but okay. The fight is pretty evenly matched, but eventually the water boy wins. By accident, but a win is a win. Another comment on the animation style. It kinda reminds me of Spider-Verse, but also Castlevania, but also PlayStation 2 graphics. It's weird, but I like it. Suddenly, the water boy gets attacked by a predator cuck. He runs and hides as the predator cuts the guards into a lot of pieces. YouTube is not going to like that. The predator puts a stop to our water boy's hide and seek by using his heat vision, and then he starts chasing him. Our water boy narrowly escapes death by pouring his little heart out before 360 no-scoping the predator right in the face. Oh look, evil samurai guy is still alive. Never mind, he got killed by the predator. But not before the two samurai dudes do an insane amount of damage on the predator. The water boy blows the predator up using his own tech, which kinda makes me think, in most of these predator encounters, their greatest weakness is their own technology. Interesting. Anyway, evil samurai is still alive, somehow, but this time he teams up with the water boy and they deliver a final blow to the predator, cutting him into 2 Thanksgiving portion pieces of pred ducken. The 2 samurai dudes make up, and then the evil samurai drops dead. Man, this chapter has been an emotional roller coaster. Suddenly, we cut to the Viking lady, the water boy samurai, and someone else sitting in a futuristic prison. Is this setting up a Killer of Killers Hunger Game type thing? Let's find out. We see the backstory of our unknown prisoner. His voiceover kinda sounds like that of Peter Parker, and he also looks like a Hispanic Leonardo DiCaprio. Little Leo's dad reveals that Leo has been drafted into the army. We roll into our 3rd chapter title, The Bullet. First up is a US Navy ship in 1942. This is during the Second World War. Leo is now working on planes, but he's not very good at it. Suddenly, there's an attack. Was it the Germans? Was it the Japanese? Nope, it was the Predators. Leo investigates the Predator tech by poking at it with a screwdriver, drilling at it, and sawing at it with a handsaw. You know, all the super scientific methods. Anyway, Leo upsets the tech and sends it crashing through the wall, taking an entire plane engine with it. The sergeant is going to be pissed. While the Americans are fighting the Germans, the Predator is watching, setting up his kill shot. Meanwhile, Leo decides that he's going to warn the other soldiers about whatever is in the sky. While Leo is shouting at a pilot, the pilot gets shot out of the sky. The Predator ship reveals itself and unleashes hell upon the Americans. We also see a brief close-up of the aviation predator, and he is ugly as hell. I mean, he kinda looks like Freezer that got sunburnt or something. This predator continues to kill many soldiers, blowing them up, ripping them apart, and all around just having a great time. Leo's plane catches fire and he literally crawls onto the wing to try and fix it. Like, if you couldn't fix a plane while on the ground, what makes you think you can fix it in the sky? Brave or stupid? You decide. Anyway, Leo and his sergeant decide to fly as high as possible in an attempt to cool the engines down just enough to not be seen by the predator. The sergeant sacrifices himself to save Leo, who is in the atmosphere with only a t-shirt on and no oxygen. I'm no Neil deGrasse Tyson, but this seems highly unsafe and he would either suffocate or freeze to death. Anyway, Leo somehow survives and shoot out the predator's engine before leading him on a chase through France. The sequence ends with the predator ship being shot to bits by literally all sides of the wall. Leo makes it back to the airplane hangar safely, or so we think. The predator ship emerges from the ocean. It's damaged, but still chasing him like an obsessed ex. Leo uses the predator's own tech to blow his ship to pieces before crashing into the water. Do you see the predator tech pattern? This is officially a conspiracy, or maybe it's a known fact and I'm just dumb. Anyway, we cut ahead and Leo gets abducted by a giant predator ship outside of his own garage. The ship flies away, leaving only crop circles behind. Leo wakes up in a pod. They put a collar on him and shove him into a cell with our other 2 prisoners. Great, we're all caught up. Leo is very chatty and none of the other prisoners wants to be his friend. Then we cut to an alien gladiator setup. Are we not entertained? Suddenly, the ship lands and the main predator steps into the Colosseum. This is one chunky boy. His face looks kinda like a chubby hamster, and the first time I saw it, I burst out laughing. Big Boy blows up a fellow predator to show everyone how the collars work, before telling our warriors to fight each other. Weapons pop up and everyone starts fighting each other. Then, suddenly a giant predator lizard tortoise looking thing, and apparently it eats stuff. Finally, our warriors have some common ground, not wanting to be eaten. Too bad for Leo, he gets eaten alive. But don't worry, He's still alive and he has a plan. The warriors team up, hacking and slashing at the giant beast. Our samurai stabs it in the eye, our Viking slashes its belly open, and then, together they slit the beast's throat. Before Leo can escape, a small little ship appears and carries the dead body out of the arena, with Leo still inside it. The Viking and the samurai fight back and forth before the samurai respectfully and humbly surrenders. Just before both their heads are blown off, Leo arrives to save the day. He uses a severed predator arm to release the warriors from their collars and drives straight at our big chunky boy, who instantly stops them in their tracks, throwing them around like ragdolls. But unfortunately for Big Boy, our warriors make intimate eye contact and unlock the true power of friendship, teamwork. While they fight our big predator friend, Leo familiarizes himself with their ship and its controls. Just when the warriors think they won, the predator strikes back, pressing their heads into the dirt, ready to crush it. Suddenly, the predator ship takes off, blowing the big old predator away from our warriors, just long enough for them to escape. But not without our samurai friend losing an entire arm. The predators try their best to pull the ship back down, but our strong Viking lady sacrifices herself to save the day. She slides down the chain and destroys the harpoon gun. Big Boy doesn't kill her, but instead he exclaims that they are going hunting. Final chapter title, Killer of Killers. Our Viking warrior lady is being transported inside a frozen pod. We move through a creepy warehouse, stacked with what seems to be the universe's greatest warriors. We stopped on an unknown warrior and... the end? Roll the credits. What? That's it? I have so many questions. Who is this mysterious warrior? Okay, so I did some research and the unknown warrior is none other than Naru, the Komachi hero from Prey 2022. Her being shown in this cryogenic tank on the Predator ship confirms a link between the two films. I saw a video where Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Prey and Killer of Killers, explained that all the heroes, including Naru, are frozen across time and then brought together as trophies or participants on the Predator homeworld. This cliffhanger wasn't just fan service. It sets up the next phase in the franchise. With Predator Badlands heading our way in November and the potential for more narrow-centric storytelling, this reveal tees up a future where Prey, Killer of Killers, and Badlands aren't isolated stories, but parts of a continuous evolving Predator universe. Final thoughts, should you watch it? Is Predator Killer of Killers a cinematic masterpiece? Not exactly, but does it deliver brutal kills, spine-cracking suspense, and the most terrifying Predator we've seen since the original Jungle Nightmare? Without a question. This isn't just another entry in the franchise, it's a showcase of what's to come. Visually, this film is peak creature feature horror, with bone armor forged from ancient kills, dreadlocks scorched at the ends, eyes glowing red instead of green. It's a walking war crime. And let's talk about the animation style. A unique blend of hyper-stylized movement, heavy shadows, and gritty textures that somehow makes everything feel more brutal. Think Clone Wars meets Love, Death, and Robots. It's exaggerated just enough to feel intense, but grounded enough that every bone snap and plasma burn hits like a truck. It adds an otherworldly layer that live action couldn't match. Killer of Killers screams for a series. Give us a Clone Wars style animated show exploring the Predator Civil War, rogue clans, assassination missions, jungle moon warfare, betrayal, honor versus evolution, or even just more hunts on different planets. This universe is begging to be expanded, and with it being an animation, you can literally do anything in terms of action and gore. Anyway, we give Predator Killer of Killers a savage 8.5 gross Predator heads out of 10. It's not flawless, a few pacing dips, and some of the human dialogue is stiff, but when there's violence on screen, you feel the danger. It's gritty, intense, and the boldest evolution of Predator lore in decades. So, what did you think of Killer of Killers? Would you watch a Clone Wars style animated series diving into the Predator universe? Because I'm telling you, that show would slap. And hey, with Predator Badlands coming this November, should we cover it when it drops? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more movie breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you don't miss the next episode. Stay sharp, and remember, if you hear clicking in the trees, you're already dead. Until next time, I'm Diavolt, and this has been Recap.